Have you ever had a situation when you were talking to a group of people, maybe it's 5 of you in a circle, 7 of you, and one person is talking most of the time, but gives the eye contact only to one other person. So you're standing there with the rest of the people and you get 0 eye contact from that person who is talking. My question is, how does it make you feel? Do you feel like you're welcomed there? Do you feel like that person wants you there? Do you feel like you are a part of the conversation? Probably not, okay? So that's the mistake, not giving people the eye contact. Now you may say, well, but that person is primarily talking to another individual and everyone else just happens to be in that circle kind of tuning in. Even if that's the case, as the main speaker within the circle, you should still give some eye contact to every single person in the circle. So imagine a situation, I go to the networking event, I'm there with you and maybe 5 other people, right? And imagine that this is you. You are over there, right, where the lens is. I'm talking to you primarily, but a few people are tuning in, right? And you know, we have a bit of an interaction, but it's me primarily talking to you. So I'm talking primarily to you, but from time to time, I'm gonna give a bit of eye contact to every single person that's involved. And even if some new person comes in and joins the circle, I'm gonna acknowledge that, and at some point I will give a little bit of eye contact to that person, even if it's just 2 or 3 seconds. But basically this shows that I welcome that person into this circle, okay? Now, if you want to become a better leader, this is crucial. This is one thing that you can implement today and make a tremendous difference in your leadership and also your perceived charisma. Charismatic people make us feel engaged. It feels like we are connected with them. They make us feel good. They make us feel like we are welcome, that we are supposed to be there. They have that power in them. So if you want to become more charismatic, you gotta acknowledge every single person who is in that circle. Now, this applies to conversations between a couple of different people. So what's gonna happen if you get on a stage and you address 50 or 100 people? Or perhaps you are at the team gathering and there are 17 people sitting at a table and you stand up to share something. What do you do then? Should you look at every single person? Now it depends, right? If it's 7, 10, maybe even 17 people, at some point throughout the meeting, it would be good if you give every single person a little bit of eye contact. And remember from the previous video, when I say eye contact, I don't mean that you have to lock in eyes with them. You can look somewhere around this area depending on how far you are from them. If you're really far from them, you can literally look within this area. If you are on a stage and there's a big audience, you can literally look at different sections of the audience, right? For example, when I get on a stage in front of 1,000 or 2,000 people, you may think, well, it's impossible to give the eye contact to every single individual. But I would urge you to reconsider, okay? Now, you want to be able to have this direct, intimate eye contact with every person, but even on a massive stage, if I divide the room into sections, right? And I give some eye contact to every single section, even though I'm not locking eyes with any particular individual, people who are sitting there, they'll all have a perception that I'm looking at them because they are far away enough. So if I just look into their direction, they will have a perception that I am looking at them. You ever had a situation where, you know, you're sitting there in the audience and there's a famous speaker presenting and you're with a bunch of friends, and at some point you feel like, wow, that speaker is talking directly to you. So then afterwards you tell your friends, hey, that speaker was talking directly to me. And your friends say, no, he was looking at me. Oh, she was looking at me, right? So everyone thinks that the speaker was looking at them. But in reality, the speaker wasn't looking at any of you. That person was just looking at your general direction, okay? That's the trick. So anyhow, remember about it. Implement it today, okay? Unless you're watching this in the evening, of course. But I want you to implement it right away. Next time you talk to a group of people, make sure that you give every single person a bit of eye contact and you will see the change. And over time, people will perceive you as a confident, charismatic leader.